I'd like to pay my respects to any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islanders who are joining us tonight. As I mentioned this morning, I'm joining tonight from Durragland on Sydney's Upper North Shore. And if you could put into the chat where you're joining from, let us know the name of the country where you're joining us from tonight, that would be great. In terms of logistics, please feel free to turn your video on. It'd be nice to see people out there, just like a normal dinner. Make sure you're on mute though, unless you're actually speaking tonight. For the awards winners, if you would like to say a few words, if you're announced as a winner, then please feel free to do so. So turn your video and audio on when you do that. For those who are able to redeem an e-gift card to order your dinner tonight, we'd love you to post a photo of your meal on our photo wall. So click photos on the left sidebar on the Hoover platform. We were joking just before about what people are wearing tonight. I'm not going to ask for photos of what people are wearing, but maybe if you want to post a photo of your footwear, perhaps. I've got bare feet, so I'm not going to do that. But again, if you want to put those in the photo on Hoover, that will be hopefully a bit of fun. And also, if you'd like, please spread the word about the Congress and the virtual awards dinner, the awards virtual dinner, using the hashtag SimCongress21. And you'll be able to see what's going on Twitter using the Twitter wall on Hoover. So go to resources, then Twitter on the left-hand sidebar, and you can see what everybody's saying. Tonight, we're celebrating the achievements of members of the simulation community. We've been hearing today just a little about what the amazing work that's been done by members and the community in defence, healthcare, emergency management, education, and many other areas. And there's a lot more to be heard in the next couple of days. Having a shared sense of history is an important element of, I guess, being a profession, although there's a little bit of debate about whether or not we can call ourselves a profession as such, but I like to think of us as a profession. Regardless of how you classify people working in developing, using or researching simulation, recognising significant contributions made by individuals and groups is an important way of building our sense of community. A previous Ray Page Award recipient, Professor Harry Owen, has written a history of simulation in healthcare that traces its history back through hundreds of years, and in one instance, thousands of years ago. Intricate models were used to help teach anatomy and physiology, and in training in obstetrics and many surgical disciplines. Simulations were used to learn skills before performing them on patients and in high-stakes assessment. In the 18th century, for example, obstetric simulators that could leak amniotic fluid and blood were used to train midwives and obstetricians to recognise and manage the complications of childbirth. In the field where I do most of my work, aviation, simulators have been used for training almost from the very beginning, as it was soon recognised that special skills were required in this hazardous new environment. For example, as early as 1910, there were 3 simulators available: the Sanders trainer, and the Wright brothers themselves had a trainer, both of which were essentially modified aircraft mounted to a universal joint. And then there was the Antoinette trainer, which is developed in parallel with the aircraft, something that pretty much all aircraft use today. The history of Simulation Australasia itself goes back to 1994, when a group of people from industry and the then Defence Science and Technology Organisation got together to submit a proposal for a cooperative research centre for simulation. The proposal was unsuccessful, but everyone enjoyed working together so much they thought they would keep on going, and they formed the Simulation Industry of Australia, with Ray Page as the first chair. And the first SimTech conference was held in 1996 at the Regent Hotel in Melbourne. The committee took quite a risk on the outcome, as they would have been personally responsible for any financial shortfall. But it was a success, and we're here today, 25 years later, because of their decision. So we're all part of that history. I'd like to take this opportunity to encourage those here tonight who are not already members of Simulation Australasia to join us. Simulation Australasia represents one of the most diverse groups of simulation professionals in the world. And as we heard in the Equity and Diversity panel discussion this morning, diversity and inclusion makes us all better. Joining Simulation Australasia will provide the opportunity to interact with people working in the same area as you, but more importantly, it will provide the opportunity to hear other voices, to see things from a different perspective, and to learn unexpected insights. For those who are already members, a reminder that the annual general meeting is being held next Tuesday at 11 o'clock Sydney time, so make sure that you cast your vote for the open board positions and register to attend. And for those future members, it's not too late to join. Before moving on, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my fellow board members for their fantastic work. We're a fully volunteer organisation, and I'm sure, like everyone else right now, board members are all extremely busy with their day jobs. So a big thank you to Deputy Chair Marcus Watson, Treasurer Gillian Vesti, and members of good standing Matthew Harper, Stephen Guinea, Fiona Love, Kelly Britt, Fred Hardkey, and Elizabeth Lee. This virtual awards dinner would not have been possible without the support of our platinum sponsor, Laerdal, Australia and New Zealand. I'd now like to invite Kelly Rudd, Sales and Marketing and Service Manager, to say a few words.
Hello, my name is Kelly Rudd from Laerdal, and I'd like to welcome you all to the awards dinner for the Australasian Simulation Congress for 2021. I think we can all agree that the last 2 years have been particularly challenging. And on behalf of Laerdal, I would like to thank you all for your tireless and hard work and dedication to healthcare and simulation. Laerdal are very proud to have contributed to the industry with our life-saving products, solutions, and programs. These are designed to help increase survival, improve patient outcomes, and reduce medical errors. We have an audacious goal of helping save 1 million more lives every year by 2030. And this is only possible through the amazing work that you all do. Laerdal are very proud to be part of this innovative and collaborative community. Hoping that you all enjoy the Congress and your dinner this evening. Thank you.
And thank you, Kelly, and thank you for Laerdal's continued support over many years. Continuing with the thanks, I'd like to thank the people who've been working hard behind the scenes, and in some cases in front of them, for the last few months to organise this Congress and tonight's dinner. So thank you to the organising and scientific committees of ASC 2021, Fred Hardkey, Deanna Hutchinson, Belinda Judd, Laurel Bowditch, Kelly Britt, Anjum Nawid, Tain Ryle, Kathleen Yin, Fiona Love, and Adrian Webb. We really appreciate all the hard work you've put into this. I'm now going to hand over to Fred, co-convener of the Congress, to come back on stage and start with the awards.
Thank you, Philip. On behalf of the board of the Simulation Australasia, I'm pleased to be announcing the recipients of SimAust Awards. Simulation Australasia has a continued mission to support both members and related industries. Over the last 18 months, we have learned to live with a high degree of ambiguity and uncertainty, and we've been assisted greatly by those who have been contributors to modelling and simulation throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. Our goals include to provide a forum for those involved with modelling and simulation across Australasia, to further advance the research, development and use of modelling and simulation techniques and practices, and be recognised as a trusted voice engaging with industries, academia and government, and a key contributor to creating a better, more innovative and safer environment and community. As such, Simulation Australasia has an awareness of the importance of recognising outstanding achievement and commitment to the field of modelling and simulation across the many diverse sectors. Simulation Australasia is aware that there are highly exceptional individuals working within different fields of modelling and simulation, and the Simulation Australasia Annual Awards are an opportunity to recognise extraordinary individuals within our simulation community. Okay, so for the Simulation Achievement Award, this goes to Peter Ryan. The Modelling and Simulation Framework of Related Standards is a uniquely Australian artefact That Australia has nationally recognised documentation for modelling and simulation is the direct result of Dr. Peter Ryan's vision, which would not exist without his dedicated commitment. That Australia contributes to international standards in this area is a result of his commitment and work. His vision, integrity and leadership provide the modelling and simulation industry with lasting value. And I think we can all agree that we all know Peter through different channels, and we're very pleased to see him receive this award. Congratulations, Peter. Would you like to say a few words for us?
Thank you, Frederick, and thank you, Simulation Australasia, for this award. I was very flattered when I heard I might get an award. In my framework, all I've really done is kept running a committee, Standards Australia, for about 10 years. And the main achievement of that has been to develop a document handbook of modelling and simulation. And we're now into our 3rd edition, which is amazing. My background is I was with Defence Science for about 35 years. I finally left earlier this year in April because of COVID. Really, I couldn't stay on. And I'm now a consultant. Became involved with Standards Australia through working on defence naval projects, which needed modelling and simulation standards. And eventually I became chair of committee IT31 in Standards Australia. And that committee works with an ISO committee. It's the mirror to an ISO committee, which also does modelling and simulation. So thank you very much, Fred and Simulation Australasia, and thank you to your sponsors for giving me this award. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Next up, we have the Jonathan Mitchell Early Career Innovation Award. I'm pleased to say this goes to Matthew Gardner. As a young engineer, Matthew Gardner was fortunate to be part of the development of Shoal's next generation flight analysis capability that saw the safe return of JAXA's Hayabusa 2 asteroid sample return capsule to Australia. Matt has found a niche in a regulatory space and will build on his work by enabling space service providers to navigate through Australia's regulatory framework while upholding and improving standards for defensible simulation-based risk assessments for space operations. Congratulations, Matthew.
Thank you very much. I guess, yeah, a bit of an honour and a surprise to win the awards. I'd like to thank Simulation Australasia for that. Yeah, I guess a huge thank you to the Shoal team that I worked with, particularly Chris Butt, and I guess the broader Shoal team as well. It was a real privilege to work on that project, and I'm looking forward to, I guess, seeing where we take it and what the future holds. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Matthew. Well done. Okay. Project Innovation Award, less than 2.5 million. Next generation flight analysis capability. Shoal supported the Australian Space Agency to provide advice to ensure the safe return to Earth of asteroid samples from the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, the JAXA Hayabusa 2 mission. Shoal's next generation flight analysis capability was used to develop a representative model of the Hayabusa 2 return capsule. This unique capability also enabled Shoal to perform re-entry flight path analysis that included modelling different failure modes and assessing their impact on the risk to public safety and property.
I guess, yeah, thank you very much again. I'll say some more words on behalf of Shoal. So again, thank you to Simulation Australasia for that. I guess, yeah, on behalf of the entire team. So yes, I mean, no one else who developed this is on the call tonight, but congratulations to the team. I guess we all worked really hard on this, and it's a really exciting capability that we hope to see continue to grow and make a real difference in the regulatory space for civil space as well as other areas of defence as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Matthew. And I think you'll do really well with thinking on your feet with the return sentiments. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, the Project Innovation Award greater than 2.5, simulation-based educational SBE program in Myanmar, improving outcomes for children in the management of interception. This collaborative international project used an innovative simulator and faculty development to improve clinical outcomes for children in Myanmar and change the educational culture. The project is characterized by its collaborative approach in design and implementation, leading to a sustainable and enduring program. Additionally, the educational design is a template for the management of other targeted clinical conditions with low-cost simulators. The preservation of sparse healthcare resources is a powerful indirect benefit. The project lead has won the Monash University's Vice Chancellor's Award for Innovations in Learning and Teaching in a Curriculum category in November 2020. So congratulations there. Is anyone there to receive? Nope. Well, congratulations. And great work there. Okay, I'm now going to bring Philip back to the stage to announce the next award recipients.
Thanks, Fred. And just to add my congratulations to all the previous award winners. Peter mentioned that all he'd done was spend 10 years working on developing standards, but I think there's an award there just for that period of time working on that. It's fairly sort of, in a sense, dull work, you might say. You know, there's a lot of committee meetings, especially late night, to do with international standards, late night Australian time, and it takes a certain kind of person to endure through that for 10 years. And standards is such an essential part of what we're doing. It's going to become even more important. So congratulations there, and to all the other award winners. So moving on now, the final award for this evening is the Ray Page Award. So you heard Ray Page's name mentioned a couple of times already as one of the founders of the organisation and the inaugural chair. So the Ray Page Lifetime Simulation Award is presented in recognition of an outstanding contribution made over an extended period of time to the advancement of modelling and simulation within Australasia. The award, as we've heard, is named after the inaugural winner, Ray Page, who spent his career advancing the use of flight simulation and leading the development of international standards whilst at Qantas, and then as founding chair of the Simulation Industry Association of Australia. This award dates from 2005 when the SIAA decided to present achievement awards, and Ray was presented with this award in his name at SimTech in Sydney. This is a prestigious award and only presented if a candidate meeting the criteria is nominated. Before moving on to the actual award, I'd just like to say a few things about Ray, and in particular, just to let everybody know that we are in the middle of producing, or hopefully towards the end of producing, a book. So June, if you could move the slides forward one. So Simulation Australasia has produced this book to recognise the vital contribution made by Ray Page and by Qantas to flight simulation. While Ray didn't initiate the use of flight simulators in the Australian aviation industry, his role in bringing flight simulation into the modern era, and most importantly, the development of international standards and regulation and the development of simulation-specific flight data packages were critical to realising the vision of zero flight time training. Zero flight time training is the concept where a simulator of sufficient fidelity to the reference aircraft can enable a pilot to be trained to a level such that the first time they fly an actual aircraft of that type is in normal line operations with passengers on board. In addition to the significant cost savings for airlines, zero flight time training flight simulators provide the opportunity for pilots to rehearse responses to emergency situations in a safe and repeatable manner. This capability is literally life-saving. The text in the book is drawn from Ray's own memoirs, with very few edits, and tells his story in his own words, and includes his role in the establishment of the SIAA, which is the forerunner of Simulation Australasia, as well as the early days of simulation in healthcare in Australia. It's just one of the many stories of how simulation has contributed to making the world a better and safer place for us all. In producing this book, we recognised that a part of our history, which is a foundation for moving forward in new ways, to continue to provide the same outcomes in the future. You can see there a photo of Ray and his wife taken in 2016 in front of a flight simulator. So the book, as I mentioned, is in the final stages of production, and hopefully in the next week or so we'll be able to announce its availability. And it'll be available in both digital and hard copy form. So for tonight's winner, our winner is a passionate systems thinker, a systems engineer, and modelling and simulation thought leader who has consistently contributed locally and globally to the advancement of modelling and simulation, encompassing science and technology, policy, standards, education, and management and leadership for well over 25 years. He has actively contributed through key leadership roles on the Simulation Australasia board, on specialist committees, and in related organisations such as the Systems Engineering Society of Australia, and is a very worthy winner for the Ray Page Lifetime Achievement Award. So for those of you who know, there will be no surprises when I announce the winner of the 2021 Ray Page Lifetime Achievement Award as being Jawahar Bahala. JB, you're never lost for words. Congratulations. So what you're thinking, I'll just read a message from Ray. Just give you a moment. So I got in touch with Ray, invited him to come to the ceremony tonight. He was unable to make it, but he sent a message which reads as follows. Great to hear from you. All considering, my journey through my 80s is travelling rapidly and life is as good as can be expected. And Joanne keeps a watchful eye on my activities, or lack thereof, which is possibly more to the point. Firstly, would you please pass on my very best wishes to all at the 2021 ASC. Also, please pass my personal congratulations to Jawahar. I would love to attend, however, my hearing, like the rest of me, is in rapid decay mode and hearing is high on the list. Please, however, would you pass on my personal best wishes to all attendees and my sincere thanks to all your efforts for keeping the simulation world alive and well. So, JB.
Wow, thanks, Philip. I must admit that was unexpected. And wouldn't you believe the background doesn't work, and I almost choked on the video when he said that. Thanks, man. No, seriously, thanks heaps, and appreciate it. I think this has been a labor of love for me all the way through. I think, like just as yourself, Phil, and everyone else pretty much on the committee. It's been an amazing journey. I know I've loved every minute of it, and truly, it's been. It's sort of kindred spirits coming together for the common good, and that's what brings me back. And I think fundamentally, you know, just Ray Page's story in particular, I really appreciated reading that. You know, the preliminary version of the book. It brought back so much stuff in terms of, you know, the stuff that Ray went through and how he pioneered these concepts, and how that legacy lives on with us in a sense. You know, we apply it every day in what we do. And I think it sort of provides a vision of where we want to go with this, because I firmly believe that there is no competency that's more needed, or set of competencies, as these three pillars of systems thinking, modeling, and simulation. You know, they underpin the very fabric of our society today, and they will be the set of competencies that will, you know, that will draw out from becoming specialist siloed capabilities into truly transdisciplinary and integrative, powerful competencies that will ensure not just holistic capabilities, but essentially the safety of our planet and of our species. So thank you so much. I mean, I'm probably mumbling a bit over there, but jamming. Thanks everyone, and thanks for you know, for the mateship, for the friendship over the years, and looking forward to heaps more of that going ahead. Thank you.
Absolutely. And you weren't mumbling at all. Very, very coherent. In fact, you're probably saying a bit less than you normally would.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
You always have so much to say, and it's always great to hear you. And thanks for your support for the organisation in the past, and looking forward to the future as well.
Thanks, Phil.
So,
like tomorrow.
So that brings us to the end of the awards. It feels like it's rushed. I don't know what everyone else feels. It wasn't, but it goes by so quickly. I guess we have an opportunity coming up in a minute to continue some conversations. It'd be great to maybe have a bit more of a discussion with the award winners about exactly what they've been up to and the reason for the award. Before handing over to Deanna to take us through the next part of the evening, I just want to thank those people who took the trouble to nominate the award winners. So the award winners did not nominate themselves. They were nominated by someone else or a number of other people who took the trouble to write up a reasonable submission and justifying why that person or that project should receive an award. It's not a trivial exercise. So thank you to those people who did that. And also to the other nominees. We received a number of nominations this year. It's always hard to decide who gets an award and who doesn't, particularly if there's only one available. Just like to thank those other nominees as well. And I'd also like to thank the committee, the awards committee, for their hard work in managing the process and pulling things together. For the award winners, this is a virtual dinner, but the awards themselves are not virtual. So we'll be sending awards to you in the post in the next week or so. We'd like to get a photo of you with the award, if that's okay with you, to send back to us, so we can celebrate even further going forward.